Hey, good morning, gorgeous.
Good morning.
What you up to?
I am headed to go get my lashes done. Girl, I have
Yes.
a I had an allergic reaction to grass. Like since I was a kid, I can't. Girl, pollen and grass just gets to me, so my eyes were swollen so bad, so I couldn't get. I had to take my lashes off, and I've been wearing sunglasses all week, but they finally went down, so I can look like something. Girl, I look like a freaking, I don't know, something.
That's how I was looking Popeye the other day. I don't usually have allergies, but this season has been
Girl,
horrible. Like,
yes, very. Oh my God.
I don't think I remember seeing the pollen so thick for so long. Like, I was trying to take a walk outside the other day. My nose was burning, my throat, and I don't usually have allergies. It was crazy.
I went to the doctor
Pollen.
Saturday thinking I had strep throat, and he said it's all just allergies. And he said the best over the counter medication is Zyrtex and what's the other one? It's the other one with a Z.
Mm,
Oh crap! Which one is it?
remember Maze because I need it all.
He said Zyrtex and the other one, and then he said to do in the morning, do like a Zyrtex D. And he was like, even though they say they're only good for once a day, he goes, do one in the morning and then just do a regular Zyrtex in the evening.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
okay.
Zyfam, what is it? Zyfam? Oh, dang it, Shannon. I'm gonna have to Google it because I can't remember the other one.
That's okay. It'll come to you. Good
Good morning.
morning, everyone.
Good morning, everybody.
Yeah, Janelle is hopped on and she'll get started in a bit, but I know she's been going through it with the allergies too. They say we all have a little bit of allergies, but like I said, I've never experienced it this bad. So I'm gonna try what you said, Maze. And if you think of the other medicine, just let me know.
I'm Googling it. I'm trying to find the name.
So we'll get started here in just a little bit at 8:30. Hopefully y'all are all ready to start your day. And hopefully most of you can make it into the office. We got a lot going on. And for lunch and learn time today, I'll be doing a question and answer for KV Core. So if there's any last minute stuff you need to do to create your profile or to be set up for success, I'll be glad to kind of have an open forum and talk about that. And then I can do some one on ones too.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Y'all don't sound too pumped up this morning.
Listen, we all just decided and discussed how we were suffering from allergies. I was telling them, like, I don't even have allergies. Like, I've never had this kind of reaction, but with the pollen being so heavy for so many weeks, it's super affecting me now. Like, it's in my throat, it's in my nose. It's
Welcome to
crazy.
my world.
No, I'm not quite to your world yet. I saw your world.
It's
I know
crazy.
what to do.
When I wake-
Enchiladas.
Yeah.
Good morning, guys. We'll get started here in just a moment.
So this morning is going to be a very thought-provoking conversation. We're going to be placing ourselves mentally in a place where either we need to step our game up, we're on the right track, or we're really, really way behind, and we need to make some decisions. So that's the conversation we're coming from today. If you guys have anything beforehand that you want to discuss with me, let me know. If not, we're gonna get started exactly at 8:30.
Miss Janelle,
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, Shell.
Good morning. I just want to apologize for yesterday. I had no idea to check my email. That's on me.
No, you're fine. And if you want to get it in before Wednesday, just let me know. And congratulations, you are killing it.
Thank you.
You're doing really good.
What you doing, Shell? How you killing it out there?
Shell, tell them how long you've been in business and how many deals you done closed.
Hmm. Oh, she's on the phone.
Oh, let's see. I got my license in August, end of
Mm-hmm.
July, August. Um, like let me see, my cousin, Instagram, four, four. I think like four, and then I have the listing now. What's your? Yeah, I have.
When you got to count, that means you're doing something. When you got to sit back and think about it, like,
No, that's
Right. And she got fingers up and everything. Like,
no, it's not like
go,
that. I
Shell.
wish.
Way to go.
Thank you.
don't discredit it.
Good
Don't
job.
discredit yourself and don't take it lightly, y'all. She also owns a business. She is a coach. She takes care of the youth in the city, and she's a full time coach at school. So she did all of that working a full time job.
That's what I'm talking about. It can be done.
So Shell, if you don't mind, at the beginning of the class, I'm gonna kind of, if you can talk, I know you're at school. I'm gonna kind of ask you some questions, but we're gonna dive into this conversation here. So the whole day's message today is to figure out if you guys. I want you to, make some mindful notes. I would really want you to share what your concerns and um, thinking process is, because we all need to get to the same place. So, am I running my business? Does my business operate as a business, or is I'm operating it as a hobby? And I was thinking about this yesterday as we were volunteering. One of the guys at the place were asking me and one of the agents a question, and they were really looking for a positive experience, right? And so it made me think about how people are looking at us as customers, because he's like, well, man, how long you been in here and you got a full-time job? So he was, one, identifying himself with the agent, right? Secondly, he was trying to figure out in his mind, based on the experience of the agent, if this was something he really could do. And so it made me trigger some questions, and I realized that there's a certain amount of hours that we should be putting in. There's a certain amount of things that we should be doing, or is this really just a hobby, or if it's a actual business for us? Now, some of us we have to, some of us we do it because we want to, and some of us are doing it because it's an accomplishment within ourselves. So when you look at your business, who can kind of tell me, when they're looking at it, what do they consider their business? Do they consider it something that they have to do and it's a business? Is structured correctly? Is it something that I just want to do to see if it's just an accomplishment that I can make, or am I really operating my business as a hobby?
Go first, Miss Janelle. Um, I'm gonna be honest. I got into real estate because I heard it was for entrepreneurs. And I like taking on challenges. So I got in to see if I can do it. And now that I'm in it and understanding what's going on, it's like something I want to make it like my lifestyle. Like I think about real estate 24/7. I think about it so much that I get in trouble at my full time real job that pays my bills. So I'm not operating it as a business like I would want to, but that's definitely my goal.
Okay. So that's definitely what we hold on. I think I'm on, oh, I'm not on mute. Okay. That's definitely something we're going to work on together, with our time together, is setting you up like a business so it runs like that, right? So with you having a full-time job, owning a business, how much time do you give to real estate every day?
To be honest, at least 5 hours, maybe more. Like I said, I've been getting in trouble at my full time job, but I'm a PE teacher, so I kind of have a little bit of flexibility to kind of dedicate that much time. I do know it's kind of hard when you have a different type of 8 to 5 or nine to five, but by me being in a gym, I kind of have time to dedicate to real estate.
So when you got in business in July, when did you get your first client?
July, my first client, July. I'm gonna say September. Yeah, I'm gonna say September. I was talking to someone about it in August. My mom had passed in July, so I didn't take them up on their offer or on their consideration, and they reached back out to me again in September. So I'm gonna say September is when I kind of was like, I gotta move forward. Like my mom would want me to do this, so probably like a month later.
So you had a big why, and my deepest sympathies to you. For you to be able to go out and perform, you don't let those things get into you.
Right.
So when did you get your first client?
September.
And was it from work? How did you forget this client? Is somebody you know, or was it from work?
No, ma'am. Someone that I know, sister. I was just running my mouth, and that I was in school, and like I say, when I passed the test, I let everyone know, and then she came to the house, because of mom, and she just, how people try to cheer you up or what have you, and she
Mm.
brought it up, and I just didn't take her up on it until September.
Okay, so all of my guys who are full-time real estate agents, how many hours? I want to hear voices. How many hours are you truly giving to your business? Now, she just said I get, don't compare it to hers, but I get 5 hours a day, and she was able to answer instantly. So I think you guys need to start tracking your business. How many of you guys are giving your business 8 hours a day if you're full-time realtors?
If I'm honest, um, so here's the thing: when you don't have a full time job and you only work for yourself, it comes a point where a lot of people pull against you because they feel like, oh, she works for herself. She's always at home. She's not doing nothing. So sometimes for me, it's hard to devote that full 8 hours to my business because I have my mom calling, my husband calling. You know what I mean? So I get off track a lot. But when I try to stay focused, I do give 8 hours or more to the business. But it's not always every day like that because it's people always pulling.
Okay, so I'm glad you brought that up. Now, when you do, can you tell the difference when you give 8 hours or when you give less? Can you tell the difference in your business because you're producing right now? So,
Right.
what does those two different days look like for you?
The days that I'm working 8 hours, I'm getting a whole lot accomplished. I'm able to create content. I'm able to reach out to clients. I'm able to do a lot. Those days when I'm not working 8 hours, I'm seeing that my to-do list is not being completed. I'm not on task. I'm forgetting things. So it's not good when I don't work the full 8 hours like I need to. And I have not been. These last couple of weeks, I've been having so much. Like last week, I had the issue with my health, and then this week, my daughter's going to prom, so I just been whatever with her, and it's like I see myself getting off track, and I'm not happy about that.
Well, so this is what we have to create. We have to create a bunker for those type of things, right? And um, it bunkers are not cheap. And what I mean by a bunker is you have to elect things and people in place of your life so that you don't let those type of things overwhelm you. Now, you old people would say, baby, we done that and more. So you can't let that get to you, right? So I'm not gonna say it from that perspective. But I want you guys to understand is that if we pre-planned, we could kill a lot of our distractions. So you knew your daughter was going to prom months ago, right? And I'm not picking on you, but I'm just giving you put that example out there. So I'm gonna say it like
Right,
this,
right,
right?
right. You
So
good, you good.
you knew your daughter was going to prom months ago. So it's not her problem. She didn't present a problem. It's your lack of planning, right?
Well,
Because
to be honest, the little broad waited. She said she was not going to prom. She waited last week to say, "Mom, I want to go to prom now."
so
So
these are tough decisions, right? So do we
yes,
say? Okay, as a parent, right? And people say I'm hard as a parent, so don't take my parenting and advice, right? But you old enough to you about to graduate. And you
Right.
said today, this week, that you wanted to go to prom. So half of this ripping and running, who it needs to be on who? Because she got a car, right?
She does.
Yeah. So we create problems for ourselves, but it sounds ugly. I told you guys last week in class. I went to the principal's office at every school. You can ask every principal I ever my kids ever went to school with, and I told them, unless you have to call the ambulance, do not call me. My mom is at home. My sister works for herself. So you can call one of the two. You notice I didn't say my ex-husband because he already made it plain and clear that I pay bills, so don't call me with kids. So I had to put something in place in order for me to be able to perform. Because what happens when you're with a client and you have a problem at home, but you haven't put a bunker in place and everything falls out of place and you got to keep leaving that client. When you get busy, those type of things are going to happen. So we have to create bunkers. There are really no emergencies if we prepare ourselves today. So that's like running your business like a business. Because imagine walking into CVS to get your prescription that you need to save your life, or to get a cough medicine because you're uncomfortable and the doors are closed because their kid needed some help.
Right.
Even though it sounds really, really hard, we have to set our business up like a business. And the problem with a lot of us is our business looks like a hobby on paper. And these are the things that I'm trying to get you guys to identify, because by all means necessary, if your business was set up, it's going to fund the life of by design for you. And you cannot go without funding. So a lot of us have motivation on the outside, and some of us don't have enough motivation. So who else is giving 8 hours to their business every day? This is scary.
Okay, I'm gonna chime in, but I don't know if it falls in the same thing that you're referring to. I feel like I'm
Mhm.
getting the 8 hours. I'm just getting it done traditionally, so I can't sleep at night. So I wake up really, really early in the morning, and I'm usually online trying to do all kind of stuff on MLS to get houses prepared for my buyers or for my clients. And then in addition to that, I am creating content for what I'm going to post for the day. So and then I'm outlining what else I need to make sure gets done in a certain time. But things happen. Like for instance, this morning my goal was to do some research in MLS in Matrix while I listened to the call this morning. But I'm on my way to Angleton to go show a property. So it's little things like that that kind of take away from my calendar. But I do feel like I'm getting 8 hours just untraditionally.
How is that benefiting your business?
Well, it does allow me to prep and prime. So this morning, even before 8 o'clock, I did send 3 clients a cluster of homes this morning rather than having to wait and get that started this morning.
That's good.
So,
That's good.
so I had it saved in favorites. My iPhone, unlike my Android, doesn't allow me to schedule the text messages. So I just put it out there and sent them the homes that I felt like would be best according to what they like because I had already done the research at 4 o'clock this morning.
So, how many new clients have you received since you've been giving your business 8 hours a day?
4.
This is what I'm trying to prove to you guys. If you're not meeting anybody every single day, talking about real estate to people and actually doing business, then it equals a hobby. So, some of us don't have 8 hours, right? But the full time agents, you guys have 8 hours a day to give to your business. Your real estate license is not a license to do what you want to do and to have freedom. I used to fuss at the students when they came into the school because they would say, "Oh, I'm getting my real estate license because I want to have more time and more freedom." You're not getting more time and more freedom. You're getting an opportunity to make as much money as you possibly can, more than you've ever made, at an unlimited amount of time, as long as God gives it to you here on earth. That's what your real estate license gives you. That's how you have to think about it. We don't have free time. We should have a structured schedule, because there's no job that you could go work on that you could not give a structured schedule to. So if you're not running your business like you went to work every day, you're not going to get out of it what you went to get to receive it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So who else is giving 8 hours to their business? Let's talk about it. What struggles are we having?
Yes.
This is a conversation. What struggles are we having that we can't give 8 hours to our business?
So
You have made a Go ahead,
mine's a
Maze.
little different. I haven't been giving 8 hours to my business. My husband works out of town, and this is the first time in a few years that he's been coming home every day. So me trying to readapt to him coming home daily and then meeting his needs and then doing my business. Yesterday's class really showed me that I need to have a sit down with him and tell him like, okay, I get it that you're home, but I still need to put my business in the forefront. I like, yes, you're a priority, but I need to put my business first too.
How many people? Before I answer you, Maze, you brought up a good point. How many people were helped yesterday? Was that conversation good? Was it helpful?
Yes.
It was amazing. Amazing.
Good stuff. So, Maze, we learned yesterday how to have those conversations, right? How to go home and build that confidence in our partners to help them understand that this is important to me and this is what I'm going to get from it. And I'm a true believer when I present something to anyone, any person that I want to get something from the other side, I have to show the value of it first. When I come to the table with new people and new clients, I always ask them what are they looking to get from me, and I always have an item of value to give to them every time. When it's a coaching client, I can put your business together and I can give you a plan to help you realize success. When it's a real estate client, I already know where this property, I already know about this environment, I know about this neighborhood, I know about new home builds, I can help you find the best deal. That's my value. So when you go to the table with your spouses or significant others or your children, you have to have a value add to them. By me doing this, you will receive this, and this is what I'm willing to, this is the unlimited, undisturbed time I'm willing to give you if you allow me to do this. That's how that conversation should go. Do you agree?
Most definitely.
Right, but we operate sometimes like, um, I'm grown, I'm gonna do this. But in reality, if we don't paint a picture for our children or paint a picture for our spouse who don't see what we see and deal with what we deal with on an everyday basis, then we're really planting a seed of fear, because all our movement is unknown. Your husband has been used to you being a wife all his marriage with you. Y'all been together what, 12 years?
13 going on 14 years.
13 going on 14 years. You've been moving the same way 13 years out of your life, and now all of a sudden you come with a new change. You don't get to present that to me without value that I'm going to receive from it and an explanation of the change that has to happen. You don't get to just come home and say, you know what, I'm in real estate now. Suck it up, buttercup. You don't get to do that. So you have to have those type of conversations, because if not, you're going to continue the habit that you have of doing real estate when you can, but being everything else to everyone else. It really does happen. It can happen in spaces and time. So I really would encourage that conversation. Now, is it possible to be a wife and to be a real estate agent?
Most definitely. I just got to
Absolutely.
lay down the ground rules with him. But
Well,
in a
maybe.
positive, but in a positive way, and let him, because see, we have the struggle of he's the man, he's the head of the household, um, we as women are the ones that need to be the submissive one, so we did not have that struggle, but he's a firm believer of like, hey, I want my dinners cooked by the time I get home, I want the house clean, so I just have to approach it a little differently with him, if that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense. Was married to him.
I haven't had a hot cooked meal in about 3 weeks. Our stove look brand new.
Don't do Joe.
I can't let her
Don't do
start. I can't.
Joe.
I hope Joe ain't listening to this call.
Right. Don't do her. Don't do her.
Hey, she'll tell you. But the thing about that is I'm not expecting it because she's a mother. She works full time and she worked full time and she's a mother full time. And there's some things that I have to give some balance on and some leeway with, right?
Yeah,
So, because I grew up on the cook meals and the wife doing the cleaning, but yeah,
yeah.
shoot,
So
yeah.
did y'all have a conversation about this? How did you get this understanding? Because like May said, I was married to May's husband for 19 years and it was a struggle the whole time I became a real estate agent because I didn't go into the marriage as a real estate agent. And what my ex-husband could not see was the value of what I was doing. My ex-husband used to be a barber, so he made money every single day. And he had that mentality. I'm a provider. This is just supposed to be something for you to do to pass time, but you're giving it way too much time. And I need a meal here every single day. So I can give you a little advice on how to include it all, right? Being able to cook. You got to become a crock pot mom. He said a meal. He didn't say what it had to be gourmet. So you got to also elect your children into helping you. But Andre, did you guys have a conversation about this so that you have this understanding? How did you get this understanding?
Well, see, yeah, we definitely had a conversation, but also seeing it from her point of view, with understanding how it is to work full time and then come on to the kids. And I remember I had to watch the kids for a couple of days. She went on a trip, and it really opened my eyes to thinking like, okay, work, come on to the kids, take care of the kids. The kids don't care you work 12 hours. They don't have no care in the world. And then try to figure out how to cook and clean and all of that. So that opened my eyes with spending time with the kids myself when she was out on vacation with her friends. And we
So,
had a
but
conversation about it's hard work, and I experienced that it was hard work, and I said, look, what can we do to make it easy on you, because it's a partnership.
right. So that was the bunker. So that's how you provide yourself a bunker. So what did y'all decide to do if you don't mind asking? How do you still eat every day? How do you still connect every day and still do your business every day?
Red Lobster, Uber.
But Andre, I'm glad you said that because me and Patience was talking about it earlier, right? Like we do, everybody's gonna have that family member or those people who are pulling on you. May says my husband don't understand, but let me say this, right? You can afford those conveniences when you actually do the work in the time that you're buying. We have to buy time, right? So because you're doing real estate and because you're doing it at a high power, you can afford Uber. A lot of us are allowing our habits to become hobby habits, and then we can't even afford the things to put in place, the bunkers to put in place, so that we can perform on a high level. Right? You got to be selling real estate in order to buy time, because in actuality, your family is right. You do have some time if you're not working. This is not a license to chill. You should not find yourself Monday through Saturday doing nothing. Does that sound harsh?
No,
Nope.
it's true.
No, it's the
I would
truth.
say for I would say for the people who have children, my oldest one, he's 13 years old, and he has mastered the air fryer. So he helps out a lot with the cooking. He get in there and he really will cook.
That's a good bunker, Benitra. You got your kid. My kids did have to grow up early. That is one of the downfalls. They had to grow up fast and they had to grow up early because they stayed at home. They made sure they cooked their food. They were able to get their homework done. We didn't have cameras and all of that kind of stuff when they were young for us to be able to do it. I had to trust them to be able to. I drop you off at the door, go in the house, lock the door, and don't come out. That's what my kids were grew up on. But when I came home, I wasn't cooking. You can use the microwave. You can use what's the little thing, the little fryer thing you put on the counter. You can use that. You just cannot use the stove. And they figured it out. I bought bad food sometimes because they ate a lot of hot pockets or Lunchables. But at the end of the day, I was still able to provide them the conveniences because what I promised them was I promised my daughter, you're going to have a trainer. You're going to be able to play basketball. My son wanted shoes. He wanted a car. He wanted to buy him to buy a lawnmower. I can't do those things if I am sitting here with you. So what I promise to do is provide for you the things that you're looking for. In its turn, and you helping me help you. Does that make
So
sense?
for me, it's been
Can I say
easier.
something?
Oh, go ahead.
Yes, you can. Hold it. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry about that. This is Glenn. So I don't have a blood kid, but I have my nephew pretty much 24/7. I actually just dropped him off at school. So one of the things that he's 10, and one of the things I grew up with my mom was she made me get in the kitchen, and she always used to tell me is you don't know if you're ever going to have a wife and you whatever you may have to take care of yourself. So I've had that mentality within myself. And so with him, I do the same thing. And like even last night, he's in the kitchen with me because he wants to learn how to cook at different things and he actually knows how to prepare different foods. So I know everybody's not, on whatever that type of level, but that's one of the things that I pride myself on as well because we all on this call are busy to no end and being able to explain to him how to do stuff. And then even one day this week, he actually cooked dinner for us. It may not have been the most pleasing, but he did it. You know what I mean? So I get it.
Yeah. It's something that we have to think about, right? Because we can't turn our family into our business or other people or the things into our business and allow our business to be a hobby. And that's what we do when we make those type of choices. Now, is there going to be times when you have emergencies? Yes, but they should be pure emergencies, like real emergencies. I gotta go and I gotta do this. Do you take care of your health? Yes, you can. But can someone tell me anything that if you don't have proper planning could disrupt your day, even with your health? If you know that you have to get up every day and take your blood pressure, right? Because you have high blood pressure, you're supposed to take your medicine. You should not say, "Oh, I don't have blood pressure medicine because I forgot to stop by the pharmacy because I was too busy because I was working." You should have your medication on 90-day delivery to your house. Does that make sense?
Yes,
So
it does.
who can give me something that we don't have an answer for? Like, what is it, something that we cannot fix that you have an issue with?
I have something.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
go
I don't
ahead.
know who's speaking. So I'm sure as everybody know, my aunt was murdered about a month ago. Right now, I have kind of put everything on pause besides the deals we were already working on because it seems like every day it's been something else that has come up with her case, and my cousin and I turned into private investigators. So there are days where I may not return phone calls, I'll get leads and I may not follow up on, or my kids aren't even really going to their sport activities because we just get so caught up with following up on the information. So now I'm trying to figure out how to, I guess, pull myself out some because at the same time, I still have to make money. I can't just neglect everything anymore, but still make sure I'm there to help my cousin and help the detective and whoever else with this process. I can't seem to find a balance between the two.
That's good, and I appreciate you sharing. And I do give you my deepest sympathies. Um, Even with this is emergency, right? This is not something I won't tell you to do. This is something I will tell you to plan to do. So you can give hours to this project, right? Helping someone find I would never tell you not to do that. But you also need to elect some people in your life. What I would do is I would go to my son's coach or my children's coaches and I would say, "Hey, this is what's going on in my life. I don't want it to disrupt my children's life. Is there a parent that you're close to or someone who could drop them off and bring them back, right?" I would also have an agent that I was close to answer my referrals. Even if we did 50-50, that you were taking care of them so I could dedicate a certain amount of hours. And whatever those hours is, whatever hours you and your cousin are most productive in, I would block those out for that project. And then the rest of it, I would get myself together and at least do one thing in real estate until this is passed. Because what you cannot do is put this off. But it's also the detective's job to do their job, right? But we can't say, "Oh, I'm not going to help find them." I would never say, don't do that. but elect some time and include some other people. Sometimes we have this thing that we tell ourselves is, I don't need nobody in my business. I need everybody in my business. I need them to know that I got to do this one thing. So if your child's coach could pick them up for a temporary amount of time, or another parent, you guys can bring kids home. You drop them off, they pick them up. Maybe you should incorporate that, and then find you another agent who operates just like you, and y'all build a partnership for a short amount of time for you to be able to still do your real estate, because you're gonna need money when this all of this is over and y'all find.
Yes, ma'am. That's good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else that we can help? This is good, guys, because you don't know how many times people will sit around with a problem and really don't know. That's why this platform is here. We are here to help you no matter what, but we got to start thinking like business owners. Guys, I want you to consider the example I gave you earlier about CVS. Like, what if Walmart just didn't open one day? How dysfunctional would the city be? Imagine that. If your business is not as strong, is not as important to you as Walmart is to the city, then maybe we should be reevaluating some things. So, who else is giving 8 hours to their business?
I am. I'm giving 8, sometime more than 8 hours, because I can leave the house. Like, I done already left the house this morning, and I say mine is still time management. I still struggle with that.
So, before you were not giving 8 hours, and now you are giving 8 hours. So, what is the difference in your business? What's the difference can you see?
I'm definitely getting a clientele, and I want to shout out to my girl Jules, who's on the phone, because she have been. I mean, she has a credit repair business also, so she has been sending a lot of clients. So it's been referral. Um, but yeah, putting the time in, they're definitely going. I have 5 pre-approvals right now, and I have a few that's under contract. Jules actually is gonna close on her first piece of land next week, so I'm
Go,
super happy
Jules.
about that. Yeah, so I've been busy working, putting in the time. It is reflecting. It is reflecting in the business.
So,
I
you
can say the same.
go ahead, Glenn.
Yeah, for me, I could say the same thing. I don't think 8 hours is enough in a day. It's a lot. Even the other day was on a back and forth negotiation, and it was after 10 o'clock. And to me, I'm finding it now more and more because I'm a very structured person, and I do live off my calendar. However, I find that now things can get turned just so quick. You know what I mean? And you're in the middle of doing something else, and here you are, then lost time. So I'm trying to now, for me, make room. And hopefully you understand what I mean by that is making room for the unexpected because I usually have it locked solid tight. And when it's off, that messes up my mental. But I'm trying to learn even right now to give myself even that extra time and room just for the unexpected.
So, I also, that's good. I want to challenge you guys to do this for a week, and we'll discuss this next week. I want you to reverse action your calendar. Because a lot of times we put stuff on our calendar, and that's our biggest accomplishment is putting it there. So every night, I want you to reverse it, and I want you to check off the things that you actually got done, that you were good at that day. And then we're going to see at the end of the week how great we are at time blocking our day, because time blocking gets more and more essential the more and more successful you get. You can't get off track, because what you will find yourself doing is you'll get a bunch of clients and you find yourself working with the clients all day, and then you're not finding new clients, and now we're starting all over again every single time. That's not a
I
proficient
think on the
business.
last clubhouse that you had told us knowing how to say no to different things or prioritizing. I think that's what you said was prioritizing. That's I took that to heart, and that's what I'm trying to do now. Vice messing up my day, I try to prioritize and be like, okay, well, let's move this to this time or that time, which would be more effective. And I think for me, I have a hard time doing that because anytime someone call me, it's an importance, and I need to learn how to actually make it see if it is an importance or not importance. I think that's my struggle.
So I'm glad you said that, Glenn. So let's talk about it. So how do everyone priority level is going to be different. So let's look at your schedule. You looking at it. I'm just doing the exercise. By looking at your schedule every day, what are your priority nuggets? What should they be?
Um, I kind of have it where it's a different, I think probably a different setup, but in the morning I have my time for me, my prayer time and so forth. Then after that, my calls time where I'm calling my clients and trying to follow up, and then I try to get out in the city. And outside of the days like today, I have um, showings all day, two different clients. So today is a lock solid tight all the way to the end. So it's like if somebody called me again with something important, I don't know if it's important to take me away or not. I think that's like still again my struggle.
So I'm okay. So we're going to use your schedule for an example. So you say you have your time for yourself, then you have to make your phone calls, and then you got properties you're going to show. So if I was to prioritize that in threes, what would be priority number one?
Uh, okay, there we go. I don't know. I guess that's why we here. I don't know.
Okay, so I would say this. It depends on how you're feeling right now. And this I prioritize every single day. So lately this week I've been staying up to 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning writing classes, right? And today I had the reason why I didn't log on to the call until 8:23 was because I had to prioritize myself. Because if I continue to not prioritize myself, I'm not going to be no good to my clients or anybody else. I'm going to half-ass the rest of the day. So some days, if I'm feeling good, my self time is not a priority. If I miss my workout because I need to make my phone calls, because the most important thing for me to do is get someone in the door and get them in a contract, then I'm going to concentrate on number one no matter what. And at the end of the day, I want you to look at your schedule to make sure you got one and two done, because we don't always get everything done. That's how you prioritize your day and look at your schedule. What needs to be met first, and no one else can do it but me, because some of that you can leverage off. Think about this. No one can give you self time for yourself to build yourself up, but you could pay someone to show houses, can't you?
True.
So you have to prioritize it according to what on this list no one can do but me. And by not doing these things, this one thing, I can't get any of the other things done. That's how you prioritize. Now, I want everyone else to do the same thing. Look at your schedule. Figure out what's priority one and two. Priority one and two is what no one else can do but me. So let's use Andre's scenario he gave us earlier as an example. When his wife has to go out of town, he has to watch the kids. What's his priority? The kids. So if he has to watch the kids, but someone calls and says they want to see a home or they want to talk to him about building, what can he do? He can take the kids with him. He can have a bunker where he has a go-to babysitter at all times that he could drop those kids off for an hour. Or he needs to elect someone in his business that knows how to have those type of conversations so that they can be taken care of. But someone can help him do all of the other things in his day besides go and talk to that client. Does that make sense? Y'all are quiet. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes,
Right.
it makes
That that
sense.
makes sense.
Okay.
Yep.
So now look at your schedules. Do this while we're on this phone. I want y'all to look at your schedules. If you don't have a schedule, your business is definitely a hobby. So we're going to start there, because you definitely should have had a schedule in front of you today, because we make our schedules on Sunday. So we know what we're doing all week long. If you don't have any business and you don't have anyone talking to, your schedule is easy. You're lead generating all day long. So we still all have something to do. Now, how do I prioritize it? And I don't prioritize it by a week. I prioritize it by the day. Every day, Whatever I need to get done, I need to number 1 and 2, and by all means necessary, 1 and 2 must get done. So I want you guys to challenge yourself by looking at it in the evening time and making sure you're on target of doing 1 and 2. And I promise you, you'll have a better week next week.
So for me, on trying to prioritize, I know that with my husband, because he doesn't come home every day. This is very rare is when he works in town and gets to come home every day. So I can't network in the evening because he prefers me to be home. So I'm trying to do things more like in the day when he's not here. Like I have a 10 a.m. down payment program class that is on Zoom that I'll be attending today. And then I know that I have boot camp and the lunch and learn that I'll be doing on Zoom. So I try to do things like that before he gets home. So I'm trying to learn how to do that on like every day because it's a new how do I say it's a new
A new norm for you.
yes.
Yes. So, okay, so look at that. Let's look at your schedule. What do you have on your schedule today?
After this, I have a 10 a.m. down payment program, Zoom, and then the lunch and learn, and then the boot camp, and then I gotta take him lunch, go get the kids, and then have dinner ready by the time he gets home at 6.
Okay. So, one, what money generating activity do you have in your schedule today?
I don't really have anything for that part.
So that's problem number one.
Yep.
All right. Every day, your schedule should include a money generating activity because eventually you're going to become the professional real estate parent and housewife. That's what you're about to become if we don't have a money generating activity, because we're going to have a slump in our business when we're not working with anyone, right? So, secondly, you need to figure out which one of these classes you can do without so that you can put in a lead generating activity. How many boot camps have you been to?
A lot.
Yeah. So probably I'm teaching something today that you have already learned. So you need to do something money generating.
That makes sense.
And then you need to plan your meals out on Sunday. It's food. It don't have to be magic, right? So what am I pull out 5 pieces of meat, 5 things of meat, or does your husband eat leftovers?
He does. He always has. I like so. I'll make a batch of rice and beans on Monday, and then I'll have to just add like incorporate meat throughout the week. So I
Very,
have been
mhm,
doing that.
very good. So now that you got that down, all I want you to do is add a lead generating activity in there where we're going to be producing new clients. So always be on target to do that. And then at the end of the day, I want you to make sure you get done the lead generating activity if you don't get nothing else done. So if you get to the point where you took too many classes and now it's 6 o'clock and the food needs to be done, guess who works after the food is done?
Me.
Yeah. That's how serious it has to be. I know this conversation sounds like I'm fussing, but we got to change our mindset, guys. We got to get to the point where we are making money every day, because if you don't, I'm telling you, 5 years into this game, your business will be making choices for you.
I will give a shout out to Ray. I got to go with her Saturday to go look at some property, and we went and grabbed something to eat afterwards. And I seen her; she's on. Rayvon is on. We were sitting at the bar, and she didn't care who was by her. She would just turn around and be like, "Hey, hi, I'm Rayvon. I own a brokerage. You have anyone that needs to buy, sell, invest?" Like she was just on it, giving her card out to everyone. And her advice was like, start small with your goals. If you have a hard time giving your card out to 50 people in one day. She said, start small, do 3 people, and then work your way to 5 and then 10. And I have been doing that. I have been trying to give my card out, just making it more of a habit of if I see someone random, like, oh, hey, hi, I'm Maze, I speak Spanish, here's my card if you're looking to, just putting myself out there. Like there was a cleaning lady I gave my card out to. The people at Benitra's event, they were the moonwalkers. I gave my card out. So I have been trying to incorporate that small goal to get used to being the way you and her are on 100 all the time.
Yeah, that's a created habit over a period of time. So I'm glad that you're incorporating it into your life. It did not happen for I can't speak for Ray, but I can say for myself, it did not happen overnight, but it was one of the strategic things that I did in order to be able to do what I wanted to do, right? I have friends who are teachers. So I've had the same group of sisters and friends since high school, since 91. And all of them believe that I don't do nothing. So when they're out of school, I'm off work automatically in their mind. And I had to figure out a way to be able to hang with my sisters because I couldn't tell them no and still work. So I turned happy hour into my lead generating. But it was not easy when I first started doing it. It became easier because what I learned by doing it on a consistent basis is there's not a lot of mean people in the world as we think it is, and they're definitely not mean when they're drinking. So if you sit at the bar and you tell everybody what you do, you begin to do that everywhere you go. And before I know it, everywhere I go, I'm talking to someone about real estate because it becomes a habit. But you create a habit after you do it consistently for 66 days. So challenge yourselves to do one thing consistently for 66 days. It will become a habit for you all the time. But if you can do three, do three. It's better than not doing anything money lead generating at all every day. So I commend you for doing that. I hope this is helping everyone. Does anyone else have a schedule, a challenge, or something that they want to bring up so that we can kind of get some help with it?
Miss Janelle,
Uh huh.
good morning. I'm a little late, but I made it.
No problem.
um, so from our conversation, when I was coming to the office a little bit more consistently, um, I'm the opposite. I do that, but because I've been in the transportation and logistics industry with myself and my husband and my full time job, I do that with transportation. It's like I'm not there to do it with real estate yet, and I don't know why I still have like the little blockage. Like I can meet everywhere I go, I talk to people, but I'm always quick to still bring up transportation. I guess because that's my go-to, and I'm so used to it, and I feel like I'm more fluent in it than I have been in real estate. I have gotten more confident in it, but I still lack bringing it up, like you just said. Like I do talk to people. I don't have a problem talking to people. I speak to people, but real estate isn't my thing to bring up all the time first. I kind of bring it in like after the conversation almost over. Like, oh yeah, I do real estate. Like it's just the extra. It's not the main focus.
So that's a thing you're gonna have to decide because in all honesty, if we were to be honest with each other, you see the bread and butter in the trucking industry. So that's what you preach and that's what you teach, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can't get around it because that's where your first dollar is coming from. Real estate is not really making any money right now, so you're focused on what's working right now, which is nothing wrong with it. And maybe real estate right now is a hobby, but what you're going to have to do is purposely put trucking in the back of your mind when you want to make real estate your number one. That's a decision you're going to have to make on your own. It's nothing wrong with it. It's just identifying with it. What I wanted you guys to get out this conversation today was self-checking yourself, identifying if your business is a habit or a hobby. And if you want it to be more, then let's change it. If you don't want it to be more, it's okay, right? It
I
could
want to
be
do
a hobby.
both. That's my problem. I don't want it to be a hobby. I want them to be both. I don't want it to be both. I need them to be both. That's my whole thing. That's like I told you with the government contracts. I'm striving for that to bring in both of them. I don't want to not do one or the other.
But one of them is going to have to become priority. So that's going to be when you decide it. Like one is going to precede the other. A lot of us do a couple of things. So there's nothing wrong with doing a couple of things, but none of us can do a whole bunch with 100% effort. So it would there be one day that you could get your trucking on auto that you will be able to give 100% to your real estate?
Cause I got on the call the other day and there was the whole team thing. I was like, no, I just need a virtual assistant. Like I just because I like I said I want to do both. So I'm trying to figure out how
A VA
to.
works. Okay, so let's break that down. How much work do you do in trucking? Because I know you got a full-time job too, right?
That's also in transportation logistics. So it's kind of like it's no getting out of it because I do it for my job, and then I do it for our business. And it's harder to kind of walk away from it because yes, my husband now knows how to do pretty much everything, but I'm still the go-to. And now we have the 6 trucks plus we have owner operator, so it's kind of like every time I don't want to do it, it's like I'm getting called. If it's not him, it's the broker. If it's not the broker, it's the driver. It's a constant thing. So that's why I say I still try to do my real estate stuff. Like I still been proceeding with my my one contract and my my stuff like my and all that stuff. Like I have been still making moves for that stuff. Like I'm still, for instance, towards the mark. It's just not. I don't know how else to explain it.
Well, it's you're explaining it correctly. What I want you to do is just do. You don't have to do it out loud, but I want you to look at it, and I want you to figure out what part of this trucking you can automate. Some of it can be automated, but sometimes when we have babies, things that we have brought up from the ground, we don't tend to let
Yes.
them. Yes, yeah, we tend to not let them go. And this baby is not a real baby. It's a job. It's a business.
Yeah, because this tax, like the tax thing, like because I've been doing it for the last 7 years, I won't even let my CPA take control of it because it's been times where people have had CPAs and they don't know any of their numbers, and then the CPA happens to pass away or something tragic happens, and then the company in the slumps because they don't know anything. It's kind of just like you said, the baby.
Yeah, you
It's
you
just
you you make it in a baby, but the baby got to grow up, right? So you got to automate this thing. You can even automate real estate, but you got to automate one of these that you can give your physical time to, because you can only be in one place at one time. No matter how hard we try, we can still only be in one place at one time. So I would challenge you this week to go into research the trucking world or the research world and figure out how many automations I can add to this business where I can go out and do it proficiently. That would be my advice to you. Just figure out how you can automate it. One of them has to be automated. If the trucking cannot be automated because of family, because your husband doesn't want it automated, then you have to figure out how to automate your real estate business, where it's a system lead generating for you, or you hire a VA to make outbound calls for you, or you combine yourself with a team so that someone's working for you, because real estate has to be, baby, just like your trucking business. It has to be touched, groomed, and fed every day.
okay.
I hope that helped. Did that help?
I've been trying to do the VA thing for real estate because I need someone to do like some stuff. Like I don't want them to do everything, but I still need them to do some of the stuff like the marketing. Like I've been purchasing little stuff to try and wing it to that, to do like automated postings and stuff like that. But I'm just not. I haven't been successful with it yet.
So tell me about your experience with VAs. What problems are you having?
I I I guess I'm just scared because I don't know him. Like I can't touch him. I can't talk to him in
So it's
person.
not the
So
VA, it's you.
so yeah. So like I said, I've been looking at some profiles and stuff, but I'm just again. I've turned into my baby again. I'm kind of like I don't know you because I need to know everything at one time. So it's kind of I guess it's me like applying pressure to myself and not so of a in not a
Yes.
good way I guess.
I think
Everything.
So
you and me sound just alike. That's Janelle. That's what I was saying in the office. I think me and whoever was just speaking are just alike.
Yes, you guys have to understand that everything is a risk and you're not going to get it all right. And there's nothing, no power that you own to make everything go 100% perfect. Let me just go and release you from that right now. None of us have a power within ourselves to make everything right. Perfect people die, perfect things are over, because perfection is what we're all trying to reach. So imagine having a perfect business. That means it's over, it's done. Success
yeah.
is a journey, it's not an action. And I think a lot of us get that confused. A true successful person has done it and completed. It's an autobiography about that person. That's it. So if you're still in the game and you're still physically doing it, you're working on the road to perfection and you're working on the road to success. And it's gonna still need adjustments. Walmart didn't create Walmart and then all of a sudden they just stopped doing everything, right? It's perfect that they let it go. But guess what? While Mr. Walton could not have scaled and became worldwide without letting that baby go, because he does not operate a million stores. So y'all have to let that go. Somebody gonna mess it up. But if you got it tuned just right, you can come back from a mess up quicker than most people can. Think of it like that. But if we're gonna scale, we're gonna need people. Nobody grows alone. So if you don't incorporate people or systems in your business, it's going to be hard. You're at your peak right now of capability. It's time to remove the lid. And the way to do that is incorporate people into your business.
Oh, and just to add, I'll post it on the group meet. There's a lender that I follow on Facebook, and he's all about VA loans. That might be someone where you can get a lot of knowledge from. I'll post it on the group meet once I find him on my Facebook.
So when she's talking about VA, she's talking about a virtual assistant.
Oh, okay.
So
Never mind. I'm thinking VA loans.
yeah, she's
But there
talking
is
about a
one, whoever
VA.
wants to tap into that, he's really good.
Sharara may need that. But the a VA is a virtual assistant. That's someone who's taking over your busy work, the things that will keep you busy doing non money producing activities. At one point in your business, we're all going to need that VA or an assistant or someone physically taking over the busy work. We can no longer do non productive activities. You will get so swamped in sending out emails, making phone calls, setting up campaigns, putting people on auto emails. You should not be doing that. You should be going to find the next deal. But when we incorporate people in our business, we have to realize that we will sometimes they do make mistakes, right? So we got to hire right. You hire slow and you fire fast, and you hire people according to a skill set, not according to scarcity because you need help. So when we prepare for those opportunities, we make better choices. But when we're thrown in the opportunity where we got to find somebody right now because we're so overwhelmed, we make bad decisions. So this is what I'm trying to prepare you for now, is that you can make better choices when you operate your business like a business instead of a hobby, because you can sit down and evaluate the people. You're not in a rush. But as soon as you get so busy and everything starts going bad and you say you need some help, you just hire anybody. That's worse than not having anyone at all. I hope that helped you guys. Any questions concerning anything before we get off the line? We have 7 minutes.
It helps, but it's still scary.
Yeah. Because I'm like, I hear what you're saying. It makes sense.
Right, me
I
too.
might
I'm
mess
just
something
like,
up, but at least I can fault me and I can curse myself out. I can't curse them out, okay? Good Lord.
But you can. You can actually. I mean, you curse them out too. But I prefer you not to. But you
And
can.
I think too, Miss
It's
Janelle, it's the time difference. Like, how do I know when I'm asleep you're gonna be doing what you need to do? Like, I don't want to have to be. I know you have to train them, yes. Um, you're gonna have to train them, yes. They say that the language barrier is not so bad because a lot of them do speak fluent English. And they actually, when I looked on there during this week and last week, they do have people on there that specialize in real estate. It's a hire right. I really just need someone to be doing, like you said, I need them for um the advertising stuff. Like I don't have time to sit here and think about the post. I still got to pick my baby up. I still got to do a teledoc appointment. I still have to do my regular job. If my husband call, I got to do, like, it's still stuff for me to do that you know that's what I need them for. I need for advertising help. I don't need you to close the deal for me. I need advertising help. So why don't you put in some checks and balances, right? So if you are supposed to have 6 posts going out today, and they are supposed to incorporate and send you 10 templates or whatever they're supposed to do, all you got to do is put in your schedule 30 minutes to go check to make sure it was done. That's it. That's all. Just put it in your schedule and actually do it. Sometimes we pay people to do stuff and then we step away from it like, okay, now I'm done. And you've been paying for it for 6 months, realizing nothing was getting done in the first place because we didn't go back on our checks and balances. I'm gonna be the one in the middle of the night checking. Yeah, yeah. So you gonna drive yourself crazy. I'm tired, and I'm just right here rubbing on my edges, and you do 1,000 things a day. You got a baby, a full-time job, a full-time business, and you're a real estate agent. Listen, you're gonna go crazy. I am, but I'm still working towards it every day and every night. I'm doing something. So I like, it's for me. It's not the, I don't know. Like, sometimes I feel like I'm doing too much, but I know what the stuff that I really truly want. Like, I want to be successful, and I want to be able to hire people in a good way. But of course, I know it's gonna take time. Like you said, right now I'm just scared because I have.
I don't trust that you're gonna do it in my best interest, even when I'm not looking. That's probably
So who has burned you? Where are you getting this fear from?
hell, life in general. Excuse me, but I'm so used to being my own go-to. Like right now, my go-to is Miss Shannon. Okay, and there's been times where I call her and she was like, "You had it right. You was on the right track." It just be, I don't know. I don't know how else to say it.
So
I would say for me, one has actually burnt me. It's just that actually that's a lot. But coming from military, going to being a director of a company and knowing how people talk and don't really do stuff to the full capacity and how they feel. But that was, that business. But now when you're talking about my money and my business, I'm like her. I'm gonna cuss you out. Like I had somebody for literally a week and I let them go. It's like I can't. It's hard. You know what I mean? I know you said just a little bit ago, your business it got to fail or something got to happen, but that recovery is what I'm fearful of. Like, what is that recovery really going to be?
the recovery, so you're in the fear of the unknown, and you guys are going to have to do some personal work with that, because what's I want you to think about it from this perspective. Yeah, you can handle everything in your might right now, but are you receiving from your business what you want to receive? Are you reaching your goals, right? So if I can't reach them in my own capacity, I got to elect someone else into my business. If I fail myself, it's worse than someone else failing me. Are you failing yourself by not electing anyone in your business? Because you can't grow, you can't scale, you can't do as much as you need to do because you're holding on to a task that anyone else can do for you. Because y'all marry people and not paper. If I married your skill on paper, I knew you had these characteristics, you're most likely going to succeed. Now, nobody's perfect. So, of course, we're going to have some failures in there, but at the end of the day, if I got my checks and balances correct, if I knew you were supposed to be doing this and I had to fire you tomorrow, then that's what I'm willing to do. I got other people in place to take your place. When you hire a VA, they work for a whole company, and that company usually promise you, if this person don't work out for you, we're gonna send you another one. That's why most people hire them. But there are successful people running their businesses on VAs. Very successful people, most successful people, because they know that they do not have, it's not a good deal for them to do non money producing activities. Once you adapt that business mindset, you will let those activities go. It won't be as hard. You got to think like an entrepreneur. You got to think like a business owner. It is not, it's detrimental for me to send an email. I cannot say, oh, you know what? I cannot send this email because Shannon might make a mistake. And by all means necessary, I got to look at every email that goes out. Yes, Shannon may make a mistake. But guess what? It's detrimental for me to do it. I got to allow someone to do it. So I hired her on paper. And has Shannon ever sent an email across the word wrong? Yes. But does it really matter? No. Because at the end of the day, I can still meet y'all on this call every day. I can still get up and go teach a class every day. And I can go and do some other adventures because I know she's going to take care of it. You can't expect perfection from someone who is a human just like you. So y'all are looking for something you can't give yourself. Y'all are not perfect. So think about that. But you got it. You can't grow. You can be the best at it. But how much time are you wasting by doing it yourself? A true business has employees. Somebody is trusting y'all to do it. Y'all going to have to trust someone to do it. But today, I want you all to look at your business and evaluate it and figure out if it's a business, if it's set up and structured like a business, or is it a hobby? And I want you to look at your schedule every day for the next week. And every day, it should have a money producing activity. If it doesn't, you guys need to incorporate it in your business because eventually you're going to be without clients and starting over.
Hey, Janelle, who was that? Who was the person that was talking? The one that got the trucking business. I'm trying to get her name.
Tahira,
It was who?
Tara, Centera,
Okay.
Tara.
All right, Tara. I'm gonna give you my number. Me and you gonna try to work through this together.
I don't know if that's good, but I'm gonna try it.
Hey, hey,
I'm
hey.
I am pretty consistent with things that what I do. It's just the trust thing is the only thing that I feel like that's holding me back. I had started coming to the office, but I had some personal stuff going on with my baby, so I haven't. And then I was getting sick, so I have not been there. But my goal is to return. Because I still work from home with my current job. And I feel like when I come to the office or get out of the house office, then I'm a little bit less accessible for my husband, except for when he blowing me up or the driver's calling me. But that's kind of like my way out to aim my focus onto the real estate side because I used to do leasing for years before I even received my real estate license. So it's not that it's a hobby; it's something I really want to do. It's just putting it in and moving past the hobby stage or the hobby title because it's really not a hobby. Hmm. So
Yeah,
all
I
we have
get
to
you.
do is just put it together, right? We got to put it together on paper. It needs to be set up like a business on paper. Then I can run off the paper. A lot of us are running it out of our heads. Well, guess what we do every day in our brain? Change our mind, lose focus. So if the business ain't on paper, that's the first step to let you know it's not a business.
But Miss Chanel, so I have a question. When
Mm-hmm.
you say outside of paper, so like right now, I am a little behind as far as everybody else, but it's like outside of paper, you mean like okay, I've ordered business cards, they're on the way. I look at me, I even bought the little key thing and say sold. Like I'm doing those steps, but what do you mean outside of that? Like I wrote that stuff down on paper and I crossed it off when I finished certain stuff. But what else do you mean by putting it on paper?
Very good question. So on the top of your paper, it should have the goal. What am I going to get from this? Then under that, it should have the structure. How am I operating this? What systems do I have in place? What activities do I have in place? And what area am I going to perform this in? And then under that, it should have the daily tasks, the monthly tasks, and the yearly task that needs to be done in order to reach that goal that's at the top of the paper. And now, every day, I need to put something in place for those pieces. I first identify what I can handle and what I can do. Then I incorporate people to be able to do it. Every business needs three things. It needs marketing, it needs a targeted audience. So who is my target audience? Who's going to take care of my marketing? And then it needs customers. So where my database, that needs to be fed on a daily basis. I need to write my database down to know how many people in my database so that I can fill the gap. If I know that I need to sell 12 houses, I need to have at least 436 people in my database. So if I'm looking at my database right now and it don't have 436 people in it, I need to be going to fill that. How can I fill it? From the actions of the customers, my target audience, and from my marketing. But all of that needs to be wrote down on the paper. How am I rolling out this marketing? How much marketing am I going to be doing? Who am I going to be pointing to? That all needs to be on paper.
Okay, and then my last question: yeah, this requires a
You
how
breaking up. I
uh,
can't hear you. Say it one more time.
you, Miss Janelle?
I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Okay. So I was on one of the calls the other day when they were talking about the branding stuff. I'm like, well, I got the cards, but do I need to get the stickers, the hats, the shirts, the tote bags, like she said? Like, I'm ready to spend the money because I want to be there already, and that's a part of my problem. I'm gonna spend the money, but look, I only got one customer. What else am I supposed to be doing with it? Like, I know you can pass the cards out, but do I just go placing hats on people's tables at the restaurant? Like, what else am I supposed to be doing with that marketing stuff? Like, I'm willing to do that, but I'm like, I'm questioning myself. Should I be spending that money knowing that I have more fees to pay and I have not added more customers? Like that's another part that I struggle with. Like I'm willing to buy the stuff, but then I'm like, well, is that the smart thing to do? I don't know that part.
That is a smart thing to do because in order to get more customers, someone has to know that you exist. So marketing is always important. Marketing is the first dollar you spend, and you
No,
need to look.
yes, that's what I
You
was asking. Like I have, the cars are on the way, but I was like, do I do more than the cars? Like
you
that
do.
was my okay, okay,
Yes, you do more than the cars. You need to have a whole uniform. Someone needs to be able to look at you and see real estate. So your hat, your cars, your car signs, all of that needs to say I sell real estate. Because if not, nobody knows.
okay, got it.
You
Thank
need
you.
you need it all.
And then I put my number in there for the gentleman that was saying. I mean, I think I know how to do that.
Okay, Glenn. So, and Terry, you get on my schedule so that we can put it on paper for you, so you can see it.
Okay.
Okay, so tonight, if you are a coaching client, I highly, highly, highly motivate you and encourage you to come tonight. We're going to be talking about getting on the phones and getting our power hours going back together, building some bunkers, getting your business together. Come to the office. This is your chance to tell me what you need, how we can get going. And we're going to start a contest on May 1st. So if you are interested, please come to the office. I see 9 people said they're coming. It'll be tonight from 5. What time is it, Shannon?
Five
I think
thirty, 7:30, I believe.
yes, 5:30 and 7:30. Please make it a point to
And
show up.
Benidra.
Giselle, you talking? We can't hear you if you are.
No, that was right. It's 5:30 to 7:30.
Okay. So I'm gonna make the time to be there to be able to help you guys. We're gonna get on the phones. We will have a dialer. We're gonna get this thing taken care of so that you guys can start using, get more clients. The office is there for you guys to use it. If you're not good from working from home, the best thing for you to do is come into the office so that you can have a working environment. The environment will be created, will be a working environment. Today we're gonna have boot camp. Shannon's gonna go over answer any KB core questions you can have at 11 o'clock. So I plan on seeing each and every one of you guys' faces today, except Maze. She's gonna be at home. Anything else I can help you with before we get off the line today?
Now, this is Glenn. Just letting you know, I will be late tonight, but I will be there. I've literally have showings all day with two
Okay.
different clients.
No problem. And if like just like anyone, like I told them, you can come, you can make an appointment with me if you need to have your business on paper. If you're tired of operating your business as a hobby and you want to operate it like a business, that's what my job is to do. Just get with Shannon, get on the schedule, and I'll be more than happy to help you guys. But I really want you guys to win at this. You did not get a real estate license just to say I'm a realtor. There's over 50,000 people running around saying that right now, but there's only 1% of the people making the big money in this business. So I want you to be part of the 1%. Is that fair?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Anybody?
Miss Janelle, so there was also another topic that came up on one of the calls about making your like your niche in real estate known. So well, you know what? I probably need to wait till the one-on-one. That's that's the goal, but like I was telling you before, my goal is to do more so of the government side, which I'm making moves in that too, but that's a lengthy little process. So I'm like, I still want to be able to advertise and be in real estate, but I'm like, well, should I just, how do I minimize it right now until the government stuff is done? Like, I don't know what to name it. Like, yes, it's more to homes, but what else can I say until I get across the bridge to the government contracts? Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, I can put a hashtag, not really there yet. Like, I don't, I don't. That's the part I'm just, again, it's still marketing.
So you are there yet. It's just because you're going to operate on the government side doesn't mean that more to homes is not who you are on the other side of it. How long have you been in the government process? So it shouldn't take you no more than 6 months.
I think I'm in month 2.5. Like I've been doing the steps, but they had like kind of like a setback on their side, so where they asked me for my DUNS information, but then they changed to UIE. So I just got past that hump.
Oh,
Like it's literally on their side.
oh, they did change the UIE in April.
So yeah, so that kind of
Okay.
back because they had to go back and redo this, that, and the other, and now I'm working with Sam. It's a process. It's not me, but again, I don't want to advertise the wrong thing. I mean, I'm there like you said, but I'm not there. Like I don't have it sealed up already.
Well, we're talking foreign language to most people, so just get on my schedule. But
Okay.
I have a contact in the city that can get your paper moved a little faster. So just call me. And I have a class. There's a coach that's teaching this class that's going to help you get into the both sides of it that you may want to go ahead and take. I'll forward it over to you. But
Okay.
you're still more to homes on the government side and on the residential side. So your marketing should already be rolling. Don't hesitate your marketing because you're going to go on the government side.
I
That's
know
just going to
you
be
because I
steady
need more.
money.
Yes, I'm coming to see you. I just I'm coming because I need
Okay,
to
well, come
get.
on in.
Okay.
Anybody else that I can help? All right, so I am going to head on to the office because I'm trying to get to the office on time, y'all. I'm looking at my schedule, and I did the exercise that I gave you guys this week already, and I'm realizing the gaps in my schedule that are causing me to be behind. So one of them is not getting dressed while I'm talking to y'all. So I'm actually dressed and heading to the office. So I hope to see each and every one of you guys later on today.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
y'all have
you.
a great day.
You too.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.